the first thing you need to do is you need to take one piece of wire. Each piece should be long enough for you to make one person. Okay, so with your wire, I want you to fold it in half like this. Okay, so you'll have it here, and I'll also show it like this. Okay, so you're going to fold your wire in half. And then there are many ways to do this. So if you watch any of the videos on YouTube, you'll see they do it in different ways. But what I find easiest is you want to put your thumb here and you just want to make a little space for the head, just like that. And then you're going to twist the wire a couple times. It doesn't need to be too many times. And then you can always stretch out the head, right? And so this is going to be the neck. So then after we have the neck, we need our shoulders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push out the wire, and I'm not just going to make the shoulders, but I'm also going to make the arms. So I'm thinking about how long my arms are. And arms are actually usually a lot longer than you think they are. You can also leave room for the hands. You don't have to, but I'm going to make my arms like about the length of my pointer finger, okay? And then I'm going to fold it back, okay? I want to make my other arm the same length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over to get the same length. And then I'm going to fold this and then bring it back to the other side. Okay, so I have my head, my neck, my shoulders and arms. And if your arms, like even these arms, don't look big enough, you can always make them longer, either with the foil or with the clay, right? So you can add length if this isn't long enough. Okay, so we have this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it over, and that helps make it more secure. So I'm going to twist it over, and this is going to be the torso, right? The belly and the chest. Okay, so I'm going to think about how long I want it to be, right? And then I'm going to twist where the legs are going to begin, right? And I think maybe that's too long of a torso. So I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter of a torso. All right. And I'm gonna twist it one more time so that it is secure, okay? And then my legs are a little long, right? So what I can do is make little feet and twist at the bottom, and this ended up being longer. Sometimes that happens. If it's longer, that's okay, right? You want them to be the same length, but then you can just twist this 2 times. And I don't have any fancy tools to get that wire tucked in here, but I can just use my wooden dowel to push it down so that it doesn't stab you. Okay, just like that. All right, so now I have my armature, right? This is called the wire figure or armature. And now I need some wire, not wire, sorry, some tin foil. And the tin foil, there's kind of 2 purposes for the tin foil. One is that it helps make it more secure and sturdy, and it helps so you don't have to use as much clay, right? We don't have all the clay in the world, and so because we're covering it with the tin foil, we don't have to use as much clay. And so you should have 6 pieces of wire, or sorry, of tin foil, 1 for each of your characters. When I made my first character, I didn't use the whole sheet. You don't have to. So use as much as you want. So I'll start with the head. And if you want, right, to make it really human-like, you can make this rounded so that it is like a real head and it's not flat. Right? I didn't do a great job of that in mine. I could have made it more of a ball shape so that it is like a real head. Okay, so something like this, right? You can tear a little piece and add a little more foil to it. Oh, that fell off. Let's put that back on. All right, like that. And I'm going to continue. Right, I'm taking little pieces and then covering the whole body so that it really starts looking like a body. And what I was saying before is if you want, right, the arms to be longer, maybe you didn't have enough wire, you can now add a piece of the tin foil and make your hands and arms longer, right? So now that's longer than it was before. And you can also change the shape. Maybe you want the hands on the hip, or maybe you want your character to be waving it to someone. Okay, and you continue like that. For the torso, right, this part, you want to think about the character, right? Gabby thinks she's fat. We don't know if she actually is, but she says she thinks she's fat. So you might want to make the torso bigger depending on the size of your character. Something like that. Okay, I'm going to stop here to show how to then add the clay. Okay, so you want to think about the character. In Gabby, we didn't get to it, but in September 16th, Gabby talks about her skin color and it being really light. And we know that even if someone says their skin is white, it doesn't mean that it's actually the color white, but light colored. So I'm going to choose, it's a little bit hard to see with this light, but I'm going to choose this color for her skin. Okay. So even though, right, we have this whole body, we don't need to cover all of this with her skin because she's going to wear clothes. So when I made this, I only put the skin color on the face, the neck, a little bit of the chest, and the arms, right? Because then she has a shirt and pants for the rest of her body. Okay, so I'm going to flatten out a piece of clay. I can always get more. But first, I'm going to flatten it so it's nice and thin, right? You can use your rolling pin if you like to roll it out, right? Because you don't need it to be thick since we already have the foil. You can roll it out like this. And then we're going to place that around the foil. so that it looks like this. Now, on the back side, it doesn't look so cute, so we're going to need to smooth it out. You might need to add a little more to cover all the foil. But we won't worry so much about the back right now, right? And then we need to make it look like a face. So I usually like to start with the nose. And you can even just start with a little ball. And we know that a nose doesn't look like a ball, right? But we can start to blend it in with the rest of the face. Right, and so if you look at the side, right, it's beginning to look more like a face. Okay. Now, like I said, we're not going to put the skin color all over because Gabby will wear clothes, right? But you are going to want some for her neck here. So again, you want a really flat piece. And you can make sure that it goes all the way on the back. Then you want to blend it, right? So that maybe I want a little bit more of a chin because we have, right, there's a difference between our neck and our chin is further back. So we want to make Gabby have more of a chin, and you can add here, right? And now that we have her head and we have her chest, now I can even probably take some of this off here because now I can add a shirt, right? And it can be a short sleeve or long sleeve, right? Something like this. And that is it. And then by the end, right, you can add hair, eyes, smile. You can maybe make a bag or a backpack for her. So this is the beginning of Gabby. Have fun.
Well,